Okay, YouTube, here I am again for the day 3 trial of Casey Anthony. I know it's a little bit late doing it actually on the 27th at 12:28 a.m. But actually had to catch up um, on the case because I was not able to start watching it on time. So I had to go back and make sure I had everything and what had happened today and watched every piece of that information. So I want to start off. Tony Lazzaro is back on the stand for cross-examination. Um, they had asked him, Did she tell you I love you?" He said yes. "Did you tell her you loved him or loved her?" He said yes. They said they were very close and they talked every day. He said he was shocked when the news broke about Kaylee's disappearance. Then the state redirects. He does not remember when he went to her house, the Anthony's home, when he got the gas cans. He doesn't remember if they had duct tape on them or not. Then they did a recross from the defense. Talked about how he has seen the news and the trunk was the main focus. Okay, so he was dismissed for that time. State witness George Anthony called for the second time today. He said on 6/24/08 went to the shed in the backyard and found the lock broken. He said the shed contains lawn care stuff and that it was like a plastic fiberglass by Rubbermaid kind of shed. When he walked in or went to the shed, he said he looked to the left, saw gas cans were missing. He called the Orange County Sheriff's Department to make a report about missing gas cans. And he also went over to his neighbor's house, Brian Berner, see if he, to alert him and, I guess to let him know and whatnot. He said he had not seen Casey until 6/24/08, after 2 p.m. Normally he would have been at work at this time. Casey came in the house after he heard the garage open. Says he was happy to see her because he hadn't seen her for some time. Casey's reaction when she saw him was she was surprised to see him. His car was in the garage because normally he'd been at work, so she was really shocked to see him, and I don't know what she was doing there, what her intentions were. He had asked Casey about the gas cans, and she said, "I don't know what you're talking about." He was telling her about the gas cans, and she had no idea what he was talking about. He told Casey he wanted to get something out of her car. She asked what he told her, and she said, "I'll get it for you, Dad." What he wanted to get, I guess, is like a triangular or some kind of thing, because he was planning on changing the oil in his wife's and his car, and it keeps the car from rolling backwards and rotating tires. I guess he does himself. So George tells her it's okay. I have a key. I put it in there. I'll get it. At this time, Casey is just shaking her head now. Like none of that ever happened. Like he's just pulling this stuff out of thin air. As he goes out to go to his trunk to get the thing out of her car, Casey brushes past him and runs and says, "Dad, I'll get it." Casey opens her trunk, throws it open, grabs the cans, and says, "Here's your effing gas can," and places them on the ground, slams the trunk shut. Casey has a nasty, mean look on her face at this point, and shaking her head no again. Again, if you look back into his interviews with police, he did not diverge from that statement at all. If you notice, it's the exact same statement he made. He didn't add anything. He didn't take anything out. It was exactly the same and to the point. And what I want to point out is that if he'd been lying, like the defense says he's lying, it would have had some kind of variation in it. That's just a known fact. When people lie about statements they make, something always changes in what she tells or what people tell you, especially if they're lying. Now, if you look at Casey's lies, you know there's always some little part of the, there's some little part that is always different. You know, there's always something added or taken out. Um, okay. I had a note that I want to talk to you guys all about, which I could do at the end of this video, or at the end of this day. So he asked her why she took them. She says, I needed them. Told Casey they would talk later about it because he was mortified that she took the gas cans and the gas out of them. Never had a chance to look in the car. Casey abruptly got in her car and left. And he says the reason for the duct tape on the gas cans was because Casey returned them and the vent cap was gone. So he put duct tape over it. And the Pontiac Sunfire was in Cindy and George's name. They went for a brief recess in the morning, and the defense cross-examined. They had asked him, you know, and George responded with, he suspected Casey had taken gas cans before, or taken gas out of the gas cans before this incident. Didn't smell anything when she opened the trunk. 7/30/08, I guess an interview that he did, page 44, line 21, 22 of his statement to police. I was not able to find that. If there's anybody that is able to find that exact statement, I kept finding statements from around that time frame, and I know I've seen it. Because the defense was trying to trip him up and get him to lie, or have him lie and impeach his own testimony. So if anybody can find that, it was an interview done on July 30th, 2008, and it's page 44 of that transcript, line 21 and 22, and it was a police, I think it was FBI, Scott Boland he had spoken to, and he said the only smell he had smelled on 6/28/08 was gas from the gas cans. And as we all know, gas is a very overwhelming smell. Gas is very strong. He made George get up and write things on a blown-up calendar, which ridiculous if you ask my opinion. Baez said to George, would you like... Baez was being very, not so much belligerent, but badgering him in sorts, being very rude. And I took this note. Baez said to George, would you like to answer my question? The judge said, sustained when it was objected by the state. Judge told Baez to move on. And judge took the jury out at this point. Tells Jose he needs to move on because the photo of the gas can he was talking about has not been entered into evidence yet. So then the state redirects. Investigators did give the cans back that first initial time, because I think what happened was Baez was talking about another photo that was shown at a deposition with the state and Jose Baez there, and George kept saying, this is not the picture that I was shown. This was not the picture I was shown. I was shown a different picture. He had no idea that the gas cans had anything to do with his granddaughter's disappearance. 6/24/08, George believed his granddaughter was fine and well and in the care and custody of Casey. He found out 7/15 that what he thought on 6/24 about Kaylee was wrong. Defense recross, George had no idea on 6/24 that the gas cans were important. He reiterated that to the defense. Alright, so then the state calls Ricardo Morales. He first met Casey in June of 07 at a friend's party. Started dating Casey in February of 08. Told him she worked at Universal as an event coordinator. Never visited her at work. She said... I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, good. She did talk about co-workers, a Juliet and a boss named Tom. Never spoke or met them. Knew Casey had a daughter named Kaylee. Had met Kaylee. Relationship ended mid-April 2008. Casey stayed the night 4 or 5 nights a week. while they were dating. Kaylee was there just about every time. Sleeping arrangements was Ricardo was on one side of the bed, Casey was in the middle, and Kaylee was on the other side of Casey. After the breakup, they stayed friends, and she would still come over on occasion. He never met George and Cindy. Been to the Anthony's house once. Casey invited him over for breakfast, and George and Cindy were not there. 6708 saw Casey because she spent the night, and Kaylee was there. 69 and 610 Casey spent the night again with Kaylee there. 610 last time he saw Kaylee that morning. Saw Casey on 7108 with one or two texts in that time frame and did not tell him Kaylee was missing or kidnapped or needed help, or that Casey was looking for Kaylee. Amy Huizinga, which is her friend, started staying with Ricardo. Said Amy was moving in, that Amy and Casey were planning on moving in. 7108, he woke up and Casey was at his house talking with Amy. She didn't seem any different. Surprised to see Casey because he hadn't seen her in a few weeks and didn't know she was coming over. And he says there was no difference in behavior from on 7108 than 7108. Or 6108, sorry. 7208, he went to Boston. He returned to Orlando on 7208. He went to Boston. He returned on 7108, and he stayed right at the airport because then he went to Puerto Rico with Amy. Casey was invited. Came back on 7/15/08. Saw Casey because she picked them up from the airport in Amy's car. Casey was happy, smiling, normal. Casey did not tell anything about Kaylee. Then they had a lunch recess. They came back. Ricardo, they asked him about pictures he sold to the Globe, and Ricardo said in August 2008 he sold pictures of Casey and Kaylee that he had taken himself to the Globe and received $4,000. Defense cross. They talked about the photo that he had on his MySpace page that says "Win her over with chloroform," and he said posted because he thought it was funny. He said him and Casey were never intimate together while Kaylee was in bed. State redirect, knows what chloroform is used for. Asked if he made any researches on Casey's computer of chloroform. He said no. Defense recross. Not a whole lot there, just reiterating everything that was said. Then the state witness called Melissa England. Went to school with Troy Brown, and she was dating him for a short time. First met Casey at Voyage in July 2008. When she met Casey, she did not say she had a daughter. Casey was drinking. Casey was happy, friendly, and outgoing. Witnessed while shopping with her that Casey had an argument with her mom on the phone. Casey told her that she was on vacation and her work was texting her while they were shopping. Casey told her she worked at Universal as an event coordinator. Never heard her at the mall talk to the nanny or daughter. Casey and Melissa went to dinner at Amy's job. While at Troy's sister's house, Casey said she wanted to leave Orlando because Orlando's public school system was not good and she did not want Kaylee going there. Says after Casey got off the phone, Casey said, she had talked about an incident. I guess Casey was on the phone and she was there. And I don't know if she was on her phone with her mother or whatever. But Casey said, "Oh my God, I am such a good liar." Just saying. I'm not really going to comment too much on that. Just for the simple fact that, we can all draw our own conclusions from that one. Okay, so I'm going to end this here and start part 2 of day 3.